Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to welcome you to today's Wednesday Wisdom. Our
Thank
Wednesday
you.
Wisdom series is a public webinar focused on delivering relevant information for business connectivity and sustainability in our region. Each session features local business and subject matter experts and the opportunity for a Q&A. So before I get into today's topics, I just want to go into a few housekeeping items. All attendees will be in listen-only mode. To be respectful of everyone's time, we have allotted time at the end of the session for a Q&A. Feel free to use the chat box or the Q&A box to submit your questions. If you are viewing this live on Facebook, as it is being live streamed to reach a broader community out there, please submit your questions in the comment section and we will ask them to our presenters on your behalf. A recording of this session will also be available on our YouTube pages at the end of the week. If you want, please feel free to share that content with anyone that you feel might benefit from it. And we'll also email it out to anyone that registered for this session on the Chamber site. So today's Wednesday Wisdom, we will focus on showcasing ways in which small businesses and organizations with small teams can utilize Canva to help them create their branding and promote themselves on social media. So for those of you who are unaware of what Canva is a graphic design platform used to create social media graphics, presentations, posters, documents, and other visual content. The app includes templates for users to use, and it provides a free platform and also offers a paid subscription. So today, our local Canva pros will provide an overview of Canva, basic tips and tricks for graphic design, best practices for social media graphics, and social media engagement strategies. Today we have with us two amazing young professionals in the Wyoming Valley. Both are heavily involved in our community and volunteers on many councils within our chamber. Please welcome Amber Loomis, the Director of Development and Community Relations at the Oosterhout Free Library, and Christine Mackin-Molesky, the Director of Development and Marketing for the Wyoming Valley Children's Association, to our virtual Zoom stage.
Thank you, Ahmad. We really appreciate you having us today, and we're very excited to walk through Canva and show some tips and tricks that hopefully will be helpful for organizations of all sizes, especially those with a small staff. Amber, do you want to start us off with your introduction?
Oh, sure. So Ahmad, thanks so much for having us today for Wednesday Wisdom. As you mentioned, I'm the Director of Development and Community Relations at the Oosterhout Free Library. For me personally, I've been using Canva for the last few years, and it's really been an absolute lifesaver for me and for the organization. We're a really small nonprofit. We don't have the budget to have like a graphic designer or something like that on our staff. So this has been a huge tool in helping us, with branding with our organization, with promoting events and fundraisers. So it really is a great website to utilize, whether you're a small business, a small nonprofit, and it's free for nonprofits, which is the great thing. So Christine, I'll throw it over to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Amber. Again, my name is Christine Mackin-Molesky, and I am the Director of Development and Marketing for the Wyoming Valley Children's Association. And to echo Amber's experience, I've been using Canva for a while now, and I must say it is an absolute treasure trove of graphics and information and tools that you can use to really help elevate your messaging to the community. I don't know where we would be without it. And it's really great to use both for my nonprofit organization I work for, but I also use it for my personal life as well. Designing invitations, designing posters. You can really find so many different ways to utilize this online platform. So today we are going to show you all around Canva and some different tips and tricks. And we're going to start by talking through the differences between the free and the paid version of Canva. So the website here can get you all signed up, and it goes through a little bit about what Canva's about in terms of making presentations, videos, all different types of social media posts, which we'll get into a little bit more in depth. But what we really want to talk about are the different plan options. So if you click in here, you can easily see Canva does offer a lot in their free packages. I mean, they have over 250,000 free templates, so many different free photos and graphics, and all different types of storage options that you don't have to pay a penny for. However, if you do feel like you need a little bit more or more features or just want to get a little bit more creative, they do also have a very affordable pro version. And you can have that either yearly or on a monthly basis. If you decide you only need it for a few months out of the year, maybe your business is really busy and wants to promote around the holidays, you can just pay for it for a few months of the year. And if you're pretty, slow in the summer and you can just use the free version then, that's always an option. Or you can save some money and just buy it for the year. What we're going to show you today is on a premium pro account. So you can see all of the different features, some of which wouldn't be available in the free package. But once you get in and sign up for your account, you can see what would be the best for your specific situation. But there's also some great other features. You can resize if you have the pro version. Your storage ability goes up immensely. And you can also even schedule out social media content, which we'll go over briefly through our overview.
Yeah, and I did put the link for Canva in the chat feature. So that way, if any of you are unfamiliar with it, you have easy access to it right now if you wanted to check it out.
Wonderful. So we're going to sign in as if if you wanted to sign up, you can sign up right with your Google account or your Facebook account. But we already have an account. That's how you would sign up if you wanted to create one. But we already have an account, so we're just going to log in. You log into Canva, this is your home screen. So Amber is going to go over a little bit about some of the features that you can find here on our home screen.
Oh yeah, sure. So if you go to the home screen, you can kind of hover over there. It's just obviously kind of self-explanatory, just your home screen. If you go into templates, this is where you have access to thousands and thousands of different templates. So if you were looking for something for social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, if you want to do, there's Facebook cover photos, there's personal, so you could do your invitations and postcards and businesses and resumes, posters. There's honestly tons and tons that you can choose from, and you can also use that search feature at the top too. So for instance, like I know I'm always typing in library. So if you type in library, it's going to pull up tons and tons of great templates and whatnot for you that are associated with library. You can really look up anything. It's honestly amazing how much stuff there is on there. I am always using this feature for like little ideas. And the nice thing too is even once you pick a template, you can take things out and change colors and let's see which one. Yeah, so there you go. So you can change colors, you can change graphics. So there's, so if you do see something, don't feel like you have to use the exact way it's laid out. There's always room to grow and improve and to edit. And one thing I just want to stress too with using Canva is, don't be intimidated by it. Really just kind of like get in there, just like play around because you're going to notice so many really neat features. And even last week when Christine and I were prepping for this little session, I was like, what? There's a brand kit? So there's lots of things that like I'm in here all the time and I didn't even realize that I had access to. So there's always new additions popping up and new things you can do. So I just can't stress it enough. Don't be intimidated and just go in there and have fun with it. Because honestly, like I love using it and it's just been such a great tool for me and such a fun learning experience. So, and for those that, don't have access to programs like Photoshop or Illustrator, this is really such a great tool. So yeah, so as you can see here too in the features, another nice aspect of Canva too is you don't have to worry about getting in trouble for using different photos and graphics. So there's all sorts of rules and guidelines from saving photos from like Google and sharing them on your social media platform. So the nice thing is all the photos and backgrounds that you do have access to in Canva, there's no you won't be in trouble for using them. You can't get fined for using any of them. You have legal access to use any of them. So you don't have to worry about anything along those lines, which is really nice. Let's see, am I missing anything, Christine? Oh yeah, and then the learn feature too. So again, if you're new to Canva, if you go down to that learn drop down box, there's so many quick tutorials and tips that you can access. So if you're really looking for something of just the basics, like how do I get started? What do I do? some quick tips on designing, some quick tips on what the best practices are in social media like Facebook and Instagram. There's lots and lots of great tips and tricks in that learning tab there too. And also too, I'm going to put in the comments box, there are two links that I have found helpful in the past with Canva. So I'll save those there too, like kind of like the do's and don'ts of Canva and just some other helpful tips. So I'll pop those in the chat feature as
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Amber. I'm going to talk through a little bit about the left side panel. So you can see that one of the great things about Canva is that it kind of learns your habits, the things that you search for, the templates you use the most. So they even have a recommended for you tab that, if you're doing a lot with Instagram, see Instagram pops up first for me because I do a lot of Instagram graphics. So they'll recommend different things for you, which is great, especially if you're just starting out. And the other great thing is that Canva will save all of your designs. So if you're using this for 3 or 4 years and you want to go back and edit a design that you had made in 2018, you're able to easily make a copy of that design and then edit it for the next year, which is so great that you have that storage feature, that you don't have to recreate something that you're going to do every year. Say it's a Valentine's Day post. You can do that post and then just keep updating it, which I find extremely helpful. So you can find all of your designs here in your Designs tab. And then if you're working as a group, so say you're part of an organization, like I'm the president of the Wilkes-Barre Rotary Club, we can actually share between members and share different designs and collaborate with them on your own Canva accounts. I don't have anybody that shares anything to my personal account here, but we do have a Rotary account, and we actually shared that with everybody on the team so that we can all collaborate together, which is a great feature if you have people who are working remotely in different offices, just really something that you can use and get everybody's input. This feature I absolutely love. This is a pro feature for people who have a pro account, but I think it's worth its weight in gold. You can actually make a brand kit for your organization, so you don't have to go searching for your logo or the colors that you use all the time, every single time you're making a new document. So I'm able to easily pull in my WVCA logo. My colors are all stored, and we'll show you when we create a design where you can find those. Any fonts that I'm going to use, I can upload those there. You see I've uploaded quite a few different custom fonts. Again, a pro feature, but something that if you are trying to create a consistent aesthetic, then you can upload those fonts and they'll be easily accessible for you in your brand kit. You can see I work for a children's association, so we had some fun Pokemon fonts and some fun Grinch fonts with Dr. Seuss. So just a great feature. And then you actually can discover Canva color palettes as well. So I have my own branded color palette, but then I have some other ones I use to stay in a similar aesthetic. And you can add as many color palettes that you use on a frequent basis and keep them all here in your brand kit. So very, very helpful feature. Another new feature that Canva has just actually rolled out recently is a content calendar feature. So you can go in and schedule out your social media posts. So if you wanted, say, this flyer to be scheduled, you can put that on your Facebook page. You can put that on your Instagram page. You can put it on your Pinterest page, and you can actually use this like a Hootsuite, if anyone's familiar with that platform. And instead of having all of these multiple platforms, you can schedule out your graphics right here from Canva. You can see I did that here with a post for WVCA. So definitely something to, as Amber said, go into your account and really play around with it and see if it's a feature you would like to use or would be helpful for your business or organization. Again, as I was talking about with the Shared With You tab, this is where you can actually create a team and invite other people to design or be an administrator on your team for different designs. So very easy. Again, this is a pro feature, but it is very helpful if you have multiple team members. And then another very helpful thing is you can actually take all of your designs and organize them into folders. So if you're like me and you have hundreds of designs, I'm sure Amber does as well, things can get a little hard to keep track of. So you can actually tag all of your designs. You can give them a name, which you can edit, and then you can move them to a folder. And I have a folder for my gala, folder for general marketing. Very helpful to be able to organize all of your files. And then, of course, you can also share from here. If you are collaborating with other people, they can put comments or like that particular design. Very, very easy to use that panel, which pops up on every design that you can use. And then, of course, if you want to throw something out, that design didn't work for you or isn't applicable, we also have a trash feature. Anything I missed there, Amber?
I don't think so. You covered it well, my dear.
Wonderful. So we're going to actually go right in and create a new design. So I do a lot of Instagram, so let's do an Instagram post.
Oh, and I do want to say too, sorry, Chrissy, I just wanted to say too, I think one of the nicest features with the social media platforms too is that they're all sized appropriately. So if you're looking to post something on Facebook, if you're looking to post something on Instagram, if you're looking for a cover photo for Facebook or a profile picture for Facebook, you can select that and it will make sure it's scaled and sized properly. So I feel like that feature has always been such a huge help. I'm sure we've all, had graphics that you go to put on your cover page and it's cut off, or the logo, it's too large. And the nice thing is you can do a lot of resizing too, that I know we're going to talk about here shortly, but I just kind of wanted to really throw that out there. So again, utilize those features, those search features, so that way you can make sure you have the proper sizing.
You can find that all here at Create a Design. There's some suggested ones, but I mean, there are hundreds of different sizing features, just like Amber said, everything from a brochure to the correct animated social media for whichever platform you're using. It's so helpful. So we'll go to our Instagram post. And a few of the features here, this is really where the magic happens. This is your design screen where you can do everything that you need for that particular element that you're designing. So on file, you can easily make a name. So we can call this the Greater Wyoming Valley Chamber Canva. And you can use a lot of different features to help you set up your design before you even get started. If you want to see rulers and grid lines, that is a very helpful tool to make sure that your design is center and making sure that it is showing up the way that you want it to. You can also show print bleed. So if you are going to be doing anything for print production, whether it be a newspaper ad or a printed brochure, you can actually show the print bleed for your printer, which they will be extremely happy that you have that enabled. So you can do that right here in your file button. This is also where you can download and save. Your saves will be saved automatically, but you can also go in there and hit the save button every now and again just to make sure you don't lose anything you've been working on. And the resize feature is extremely helpful. So if you're making an Instagram post and then you want to make a Facebook post as well, and maybe a blog banner, you can go in and you can make your design for Instagram. And then you can come in here and resize it to the size of a Facebook cover photo and a Facebook post. And then when you do that, your information out, because I'm sharing my screen here, it doesn't want to let me show you that, but it will resize everything, and then you can easily just move around your graphics for that new size, which really helps save a lot of time, that you don't have to restart everything from scratch. You can just let it resize it for you, which is great. There's also an undo button in case you did something and you want to see what it was before. And then, of course, downloading, which another great thing about Canva is that you can download into so many different file formats. So PNG, that is perfect for if you want a higher quality image. JPEG for a smaller file size. Then you also have two different PDF sizes, PDF print You can actually put in that crop marks and bleed for your printer, which is extremely helpful. Also, you can save it as a vector, you can save it as a video, and you can save it as a GIF. We'll talk a little bit more about what you should save for what social media platform a little bit later, but it's great that you have all of these features so that you can save your graphic no matter what you want to use it for. All right, Amber, do you want to go into all of the fun things you can do in design?
Yeah, sure. So, and if anyone has any questions while we're going, feel free to put that in the chat feature, and we'll be happy to, kind of take a break and answer those questions for you. But I know it's kind of a lot for someone, like if you haven't used it yet, and hopefully if you are a Canva user, hopefully already you kind of picked up on a couple things that you weren't aware of. Like I said, when Christine and I talked last week, I was like blown away because I'm like, I'm a Canva pro, but I didn't know I could do this, this, and this. So there's tons of stuff you could do in here. But yeah, so if you look on the left side panel, there's all the templates. So if you click templates, you can search. So, let's do, well, here, why don't you pick one of those, Christine? Why don't you do like preschool? So as you can see, it will kind of show up a lot of like different little preschool ones. And again, you could search anything. Like I know if you want to search spring, there's lots and lots, there's something for everything. Holidays, anything you could think of, trust me, it's on there. I know I was helping an organization do Kentucky Derby stuff last week, since that's coming up this coming weekend. So again, there's tons and tons of options in there that you can do. So once you pick a template, like I say, if you just want to pick one just for the heck of it, so we can fiddle around with it. When you go into your uploads feature, this is where you can have all your logos. So maybe you're working on graphics and you need to thank all of your sponsors, or maybe you need to thank all of your donors. You can upload logos, you can upload videos, you can upload audio, you can upload photos, and you can add those into the feature. So maybe for instance, if you want to remove the flowers, Christine, and then you can kind of like upload your logo behind there, or the 570 day, or whatever one you want, it doesn't matter. You can kind of like add them that way. Or you can, if you want to delete that and then just like, yeah, there you go, perfect. So yeah, so there's tons and tons of different ways that you can like kind of upload and add pictures in. And again, just a reminder too, if you did pick a template, but you're like, you know what, I love this template, but I don't like this text. I want to change the font, that feature is always available for you to switch up and change up as well. So again, you can change colors, you can change size, you can change fonts, you're not set to any set design. Again, there you go with the colors and stuff. So there's lots of great things you can do in the upload section. Also the photos. So again, there's tons of photos that, like you see that there that are trending, or you can search. So if you're looking for a horse, because you're looking for something for the Derby, everything kind of comes up, which is neat. So there really is a lot of access to a lot of different artwork and graphics that you can use. As far as the elements go, I love the elements feature. I'm always like messing around in here. So you can look up flowers, you can look up circles. Yeah, so there's lots of cute little things that you can add in here. And again, you can resize them, you can put them upside down. There you go, there's some circles. Again, you can change the colors. So again, just that reminder that you're not set in stone once you pick them. There's still that editing feature that you can use on there. And then I know one of my favorite things too that you can use too is if you just want to click that flower, Christine. There you go. And if you go to the position, so there's the positions up there where you can move it to the back, you can move it to the front. So then that way it's behind your items. There's all sorts of different things that you can do. You can dim it. So maybe you add like a logo or something, but it's a little too bright and you want to kind of tone it down. You can tone it down that way. So there's lots and lots of cool features on here. Let's see.
I know I use the dim feature all the time.
Yes, me too. I'm always
I
using
really do.
it. It's so fun. It really is. And then the text feature, another great thing with the text is that there's tons of pre-populated fonts and text setups that you can use, and you can make them really funky. You can keep it really simple. Maybe you're doing like a bake sale. Maybe you want to kind of go with like a more of like a retro kind of theme. So there's lots of different stuff that you can pick through on there. I think you can, and you can change the color too, right? Yeah, so you can go in there, you can change the colors. You could, if you go into effects, you could, change the outlining of it. There's really, you can change the intensity, you can change the offset, you can change the color. So there's lots of fun things you could do in here.
Change the letter spacing.
Yes.
Which I do a lot.
I do too, yeah. Because again, and there's been so many times too where I found like a font or text layout that I really like, but they're just like a little close together and I'm not a huge fan of it. So you're able to kind of add some more spacing into the letters, which is nice. All right, so we do have a question. Let's see. Do you generally have an idea in mind when you set out to create a graphic, or do you use Canva for inspiration as you create? I would say for me personally, and Christine, you can answer how you feel too, but I would say personally, it's kind of a mix of both. Like sometimes I go in with an idea of exactly what I want to do, and then other times I go in, I just kind of know I need to create something that's, associated with something bright and sunny, and I just kind of go searching for that and tweak and edit and go as I go. But I don't know how you go about it, Christine, but that's usually my way.
I agree. I think it really is situational. Sometimes I know that I'm going to make an invite and I want it to be blue, but then I go into the templates to get a little bit of inspiration, and it might spark something creative. And then what's so great about the templates is that if you don't like something, you can delete it. You can change it, just like we showed you that you can do so much editing with it. And I think the templates, especially if you're new to graphic design, are really a great place to start. Sometimes just staring at a blank white square might be a little intimidating, and that template feature can really help you just spark something. But really, it's up to you in the end. You can't really go wrong either way.
Agreed. And there's another question here too, Christine. Is there a certain website or location that you use to find the fonts that you load into Canva?
So, usually if you are going to upload your own fonts, like at WVCA, I have my own fonts that were created for our logo. So I'm able to upload those because I have the rights to them. But if you just go online and start downloading fonts, you could get into some copyright trouble unless you decide to purchase the font. So the fonts that I've uploaded, I've purchased, and then I've uploaded them in there. But you could go online and download a bunch of free fonts, but you just have to be cognizant of the fact that you could have a copyright claim. So my suggestion would be to either use fonts that you have at your organization that you have created or someone has created for you, or only use fonts that you have bought so that you have a copyright claim over them. And Canva has so many fonts that you don't even have to worry about that if that's not your expertise, or they really have hundreds of fonts. And you can even go up here and say, you want something that looks like handwriting. And they'll put them in different categories. So I wouldn't worry about a specific font unless that's something that you're really looking for.
Yeah, so while I know with Microsoft Word, and Christine and I were talking about this earlier today, Microsoft Word, a lot of the fonts that are there are in Canva, but there are some that are not, and probably just mainly because of a copyright issue. So Canva doesn't have the rights to every single font and text that's available, but as Christina said, there are hundreds of thousands of different texts and fonts that you can choose from. So I personally, in my experience, haven't run into an issue finding something that I, wanted or was looking for, or even sometimes too, if there is a text that you like to use in Microsoft Word, but it's not in Canva, there's usually something pretty similar in there that you can usually match up to it.
Hope that was helpful.
Yeah. Again, keep the questions coming and we'll answer them the best we can. Okay, so I know we went over text, right? And then styles. So again, here goes, and I love this feature too. So it really kind of, it's very similar to the branding feature too that Christine went over earlier. So as you can see all of Christine's branding colors that she has saved in there from the WVCA. It looks like she likes to use the Luscious Lemonade font too.
Look how pretty it looks.
It does look pretty. But again, there's all different trending styles that you can go through too. So it matches up colors with different text and fonts. So again, just I can't encourage you enough to just really kind of go in here and just fiddle around and play around and explore. And like I said, as you go, you're gonna notice more and more that you're able to do, which is a lot of fun. Audio and videos. There's another cool feature too. So there's sounds that you can add in, there's music. I personally haven't used this feature a whole ton, but Christine, I don't know if you have and if you wanted to chat a little bit about it.
It's very similar to if you were using a video editor software. Again, these you don't have to worry about copyright issues to use them, especially most of them are in Pro. But I mean, if you want something to have a little bit more pop to it, it's great to be able to add that in. And sometimes social media likes when videos have sound, and sometimes it doesn't. So it's really up to you if you want to use it.
Perfect. I would say the same thing for the videos, right? Again, so you'll always be able to see your recently used. So whether you're using styles or text or elements, it's always going to kind of show you what you've used more recently, which is really nice. There's also tons of preloaded videos that are up there too. So what's nice is if you select a video, you can still you still have that play feature, but you still are able to add text and graphics and other logos and whatnot onto it, which is really nice. So it's a really cool feature. And again, you can always change the position. You can always change how fast or how slow the video footage is going behind your text. You can dim it out. You could make it larger. You can make it smaller. You could change the colors to it. So there's a lot of really great little tips and tricks in here too. And again, I can't encourage you enough just to really just like play around with it and see, because I feel like that's really how you're going to learn the in and outs of using the Canva features. If you go into your backgrounds, anything and everything, patterns, landscapes. Again, you can kind of search like holidays too. So if you wanted to type in like Christmas, maybe. That's the last thing I personally want to think about right now is Christmas, but I'm going to throw it out there. So, so there's lots of different backgrounds in there that you can choose from. Yep, all different sorts of pinks, any color you need. You can really get creative in here. There's tons of stuff you can do.
Everything that's too simple to complex.
Mm-hmm. And then going back into your folders, if there's a certain template that you really like, use that little like feature, so that will save it in those folders. Anything that you've purchased will be automatically saved. Anything, as Christy mentioned before, if you're collaborating. So I know the Wilkes-Barre Rotary has a little graphic or a little graphic team kind of that they put together. So all of us are able to go in there and see those shared documents, so we can all tweak and add. Same thing with logos. If you have logos that you're constantly using, maybe aside from your organization's logo, but maybe you have a few key sponsors that are always, big supporters of your event, you can always have their logos handy as well. All right, let's see. We do have another question. What social media platform is best suited for a video post versus a graphic?
So definitely Facebook really likes videos in their algorithms right now. So if you're going to have a longer video, I still wouldn't recommend it to be too long. But say your video is 1 minute and 30 seconds. You'd be better off posting that to Facebook as compared to Instagram. Instagram videos are very short. So maybe if that was more of a promo and, see more, and then they could go to Facebook to view something that's a little bit longer. But Facebook really does like to optimize videos over graphics. Instagram does as well, but they have to be a lot shorter. Is that your experience, Amber?
Yes. Yeah. I agree 100%. And I think too, another tip I want to kind of throw out there too is when you are posting on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, you want to you want to keep it as simple as possible, right? I mean, as far as like the designs and colors, you just want to kind of keep everything pretty simple. And as far as text, the less text, the better. So, you know, if you have a lot of information that you're trying to get out there, like maybe you have an event that's coming up that you're promoting and you want to have a graphic up there, that's great. Have the have the basic information on like the what, who, what, when, where kind of deal, and then you can always link it in the comments part of the post, or the tag of the post of, you know, hey, learn more here, click here kind of deal. Because I think unfortunately you see so many posts on the internet and you're constantly scrolling through. So I think the less you have, the easier it is to grab someone's attention and have them read all the information versus scrolling right past it. So again, I think the simpler the better. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Christine, but that's kind of been my experience with it.
Um, Definitely echo the amount of text should be small on graphics that you share on any social media platform, and especially Facebook and Instagram. If you have too many text words, you can't even boost that post. You Facebook will deny it if there's too much on a graphic. For it to be boosted or just for its engagement. I know personally, whenever I put on posts for my organization and it's a photo I took of a person, it gets more likes and engagement than if I put up something that's just text. And that's just an algorithm thing with Facebook. And if you're able to use photos and put graphics in there and put a little bit of text, it's going to be more effective.
Yeah, and I think using the WVCA as an example is great too, because you know you do a lot of work with children. So obviously I feel, you know, when you're posting pictures of your students and getting that interactions with the kids, it's just like it grabs your attention more than a generic post, right? So I even know for the library too, I, you know, had a bunch of my friends' kids come in and, you know, do some photo shoots around the library wearing their mask, and they got a lot more attention than just a picture of, you know, that was, you know, just a generic photograph or something. So, and I think again, you're able to upload those into Canva and add them in to any of the templates and graphics that you're creating. So it's just a really nice way to kind of spruce up your photo. So instead of just having just a photo of the kids on there, you're able to put a background on there, maybe add some cute effects like balloons.
You know, or this one from 570 Day, a beautiful picture of a sunflower.
There you go. Yeah.
This one's optimized for a different size, but any other questions?
I think we're good for now. Did you want to go into the more folder quick just to kind of show how?
So the great thing about this folder is that you can actually be integrated with other apps that you might use. So you can go in and put in your YouTube information, your Instagram, your Google Drive. And if you want to share things directly, like with that content calendar, to Facebook or Instagram, or if you're using other different apps that help you with different design, including Typeform, different logo creating design apps. These can all be integrated with Canva, and this always grows. So if you're using other platforms, go in here and check and see if they can be integrated together to make things easier and more simplified for you.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Do we want to do a test design?
Yeah. I was thinking too. I would love to like test, like, you know, focus a little bit like on logos and whatnot too. So if you wanted to pull up something, and so a lot of the logos that you'll get, especially, you know, for your own organization, maybe you're making information up for sponsors for an event that you're doing, or you want to thank a donor. But when they send over their logo, it has, you know, that black background to it or that white background to it. So for instance, yeah, so I feel like this is such a nice feature to have. So for instance, here's Dundee Gardens logo, great logo, but obviously if you're trying to add something with color, it just kind of looks a little funky, right? Because it has that white block around it. So you're able to click that, go into effects, and then remove that background. And this was super helpful for me because I feel like for a while I didn't know that feature was there. So if I was making a graphic, I was, you know, using, using a different, I had to kind of change out what I was doing. There you go.
And look at how perfect that looks after it optimizes.
Yeah, so it really is, it's just so helpful. And then I think, again, going into, you're able to do some animations to your graphics as well. Yeah, add some stickers in there.
These are great. They really help add maybe a little pop of motion and color to what you're doing. And I love also if you're using something a lot, they also have, like I said, it learns what you're doing, so it'll have recommendations based off of other things that you've searched. We searched a lot of flowers today, and we searched some bursting fireworks, so it will give you some recommendations as well, which is great.
Definitely. What are some of your tips? I know, like, with the filters and the adjustments. Also, if you want to go back into effects too, quick, Christine, for the logos there. Yeah, there you go. There's other things that you can do. So if, like, say you have a certain background, but you really you want to change the color of the logo. There's lots of different options there. So if you go up to, I think it's photogenic up towards the top there. There you go. If you hit see all, it's nice. So you can kind of, again, change the color. So maybe if you're going, you want to have a certain color theme to it, what have you, you're able to kind of click there and edit that logo on there, which is really nice. I have found that super helpful, especially when making up, like, our sponsorship boards and what kind of thing for different fundraising events. It's been really helpful just to kind of get all of the logos to look the same color. It's, again, just super, super helpful and super easy to use.
And the other great thing is that you can come in here and let's say we're gonna do a thank you post for Dundee Gardens. And you can come in and, just like we said before, you can change your fonts. You can move it around. You can make it bigger. You can make it smaller. You can use all different types of effects for the actual text. I use this feature a lot. I tend to really look into whether my fonts are easily readable, which is another really big thing in graphic design. So if you want to make your letters stand out and be a little bit further apart or closer together, if you have text on 2 lines and you want to make it closer or further apart, just some really great editing features that usually you would find in something like a Photoshop or Illustrator. And being able to have this in a more easily accessible format is extremely beneficial.
Definitely. I agree 100%. And I think another cool little feature too is, like, with that thank you text that Christine added in, you can make it go up the side, like you can make it go upside down. You could, so there's lots of, like, little fun little things that you can do.
And pretty quickly, I must say, I mean, once you get the hang of this, you can come in here and really make a graphic for your business pretty quickly once you feel that you're comfortable in the software, because it really lets you do most things that you can think of, which is great. The other thing that I think is extremely helpful is that when you're making a graphic, now this isn't going to be the prettiest graphic in the world, but if we put in some of these great stickers and we want to save it, we have some different options for saving the graphics, especially when it is something that has movement. So you can save it as an MP4 video, which also is helpful if you're actually using a video from one of the video features, or you can save it as a GIF. And GIFs are very popular on social media right now, and could be a great thing to mix up your social media strategy, to not always just have photos or regular text posts, but you can actually make your own GIFs and use the Elements feature to have something that's a little bit more lively on your social media platforms. And you can upload those as videos right onto your pages, and then your followers can see that and interact with it just like they would with a regular post. I find it to be very helpful to have different types of posts, whether they be just regular posts of photos, those that are informational with a little bit more text, and then video and GIF posts, just to break up your content so it's not always the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, and then just a reminder too, if we want to go back to the home screen too quick, just kind of just that reminder of, if you kind of want something that's already sort of, designed up a little bit for you, if you go into like the templates feature or maybe just go into Instagram post or something along those lines, you could pick like an animated post so it's already kind of like ready to go.
Let's see if we can find. They have all different ones here. How about we can use this template?
There you go. There you go. And then you can just and then you can click that animate button and yeah, so there's tons of like different little options that they have, which is really cool. So you can pick a design and then you can make it so it's just stationary and it's just that really nice graphic, or you could add a bunch of different animations to it.
Just like PowerPoint, but you can save it as a video.
Yes, or a GIF.
Yes, or a GIF, which will both function very similarly.
Yeah. And there you see too the photo flow too, with like, how fast you want it to go, how long you want it to last, all different options there too.
Faster, slower. I use this feature a lot. I really think it's something that can just give a little bit more of a pop to your posts and make them look a little bit more professional.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, just a few other, I think we talked about quite a few of our different tips and tricks as we've been explaining and showing you some demos. But another thing that is definitely something you want to watch out for is making sure that you are using the right dimensions for the platforms that you're posting to. You can easily use that resize to make this Instagram post into a Facebook cover. But you just want to make sure you're always using the right dimensions on social media, or else your image is going to look distorted. So just always make sure you're mindful of that as you're going through. Any other tips and tricks that you have, Amber, or anything in the chat? I want to make sure we leave some time for question and answer and stay in our 1 hour time frame.
Yeah, I think the only other point that I wanted to stress too is, as far if you're looking to get something printed, so if you're getting invites done, you always want to make sure you save it to that high quality PDF print.
So say we're going to do a business card. Let's see, this one looks like a fun template. Just as Amber said, you can save that as a high quality PDF print and include the crop marks and bleed for your printer. And they also do have a feature if you want to print it right from Canva that it'll do that for you too. But there are some definitely costs involved for that feature.
Yeah, and then just a reminder too, if you're in there and you're working, so if you want to save it for Facebook or Instagram, you could save it as a JPEG, or you could say, there's again so many different options. It's a PNG, which is a high quality image, so it's not going to be distorted. If you're looking at something that maybe you want to include like in an email blast, that might be something you want to more save as a JPEG. So just kind of always keeping that in mind, that you're saving to the best format possible for whatever format you need, whether it's for printing or social media or email blast or something for your website. There's the option for everything.
Even vector, which is new. They didn't always have vector saving on Canva, which can be really great if you're sending it over to, say, a print shop that might have to do some tweaks to it. If you save it as a vector, they can more easily edit it for you. And then you can also decide if you want to download all of the pages, if you want to just download the first page or the 10th page. You also have that ability as well. And if you are, when you are selecting pages, if you select multiple pages and you're saving it as a PNG or a JPEG, it is going to go into a zip file for you. PDF will just go right into a PDF, but if it's image file, it will go into a zip folder that you'll have to undownload when you go in to get your files.
Okay, it looks like there's a question. So, what advice would you give to businesses or organizations that are hesitant about using Canva?
Well, my advice we definitely have some resources that we're going to be sharing in the chat. And you have that entire area with the Learn blog posts that can really help you get started with Canva and explaining through some of these features some more. And really, if you just go in there and take some time and just play around with the features a little bit, you might feel a little bit more comfortable. I think it's something that definitely has a little bit of a learning curve, but it's definitely something that even if you don't have any graphic design experience at all, you can start to learn to use Canva, and it can be beneficial. You don't need a degree to be able to go in and use this software. It can be really user friendly after you get over that first hurdle of information overload.
Definitely. Well, I was just gonna say too, and it's free, but if you're curious about the pro, but you don't know if you want to invest that time and money into it immediately, they do have that 30-day free trial too. So you can kind of go in there, try out the pro, see if it's something that you feel would be worthwhile for you. But honestly, one of the things I noticed with the free versus the pro was that I would find images or text or graphics or whatnot that I really wanted to use, but you would have to pay. So after a while, I was like, I'm just going to download the pro because you have access to everything. You don't have to worry about it. And it was just kind of comforting to know that.
The same experience in the beginning. I had the free account, and then I paid for so many little photos or little element upgrades that I was like, might as well just get the pro because I've already basically paid for the pro from doing some upgrades. But you can really use whichever one is going to be best depending on how much you feel like you're going to create in the software. And another great thing about it, it is a web-based platform. So you can download the app to your cell phone. If you use a tablet, you can use Canva on your tablet device. It's not something that you have to download and install to your desktop. So everything is saved on the web, and you can use your account on different computers, which is also very helpful and more easily accessible than a software like Photoshop that you'd have to download and install. Any other questions?
I think you guys have done a wonderful job of answering all the questions out there. On Facebook, we're getting a lot of feedback, great information, so cool. So thank you guys for doing this. Is that all that you have before I sort of hold the reins? Is there anyone else that has any other questions to ask of our presenters today?
Yeah, and I'll go on to the Facebook page, and I'm sure Christine will too. We'll put our contact information. So if you have any questions or want to reach out to us directly for some guidance or, whatever you need, feel free to reach out to us. We're always happy to help. And I know it's in the comment sections for those that signed up for this webinar, but I'll put those links and everything too in the comment section on the Facebook page as well. So everyone has access to them.
Yes, absolutely. Awesome. Please feel free to reach out to us. We're always out in the community, and we can always be a resource if you have any questions or anything we can help you with.
Thank you both for just taking the time to share some tips and tricks and just your talent of using Canva. This in by no way is a sales piece for Canva. It's just something that's very user-friendly for businesses and organizations out there. We wanted to showcase it. The simplicity of it, and also the ability for small businesses and organizations to go ahead and use it to brand themselves and market themselves. As we see, a lot of folks are now turning to online to get some traffic, and that social media engagement is now more important than ever. So thank you both for that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. And thank you all for spending your lunch hour with us. We did record this session, and it will be available on our Facebook, and you'll see the comments in there along with these resources that are being shared. And we will upload it to our YouTube page as well and email out to everyone that registered for this session. We encourage you to check out the past Wednesday Wisdom and share the information with anyone that you feel will benefit from the content. And if you have a topic that you would like for us to cover, please let us know in the comments or by emailing us at events@wyomingbvalleychamber.org. And if you haven't done so already, visit our website at wyomingbvalleychamber.org to sign up for our newsletter to stay up to date on all the great things that are happening in our region. So with that, I wish you guys to have the wonderful rest of your week. Until next Wednesday, wisdom.
Thank you.
Much.